how football players got their jersey number. Football players don't just wear random jersey numbers. Some of them carry hidden secrets. And for the original Ronaldo, his jersey number was a tribute to a legend.
Ronaldo is R9.
The best football player I have ever seen on a pitch.
He put people to sleep. Lay down, let me go past.
He was one of the absolute greats, even with his injuries.
For me, he was not playing football, he was football.
After moving from Cruzeiro to PSV in 1994, Ronaldo took European football by storm. He had skills, power, and pace like they'd never seen before. So his coach made it his mission to make Ronaldo the greatest striker in football history. But there was a problem. Because he was just 20 years old, the club couldn't just give him the number 9 jersey. After all, it was an iconic number reserved for only the legends of the game. At first, they gave him the number 15 jersey, and after a couple of months, they moved him to the number 14 jersey. However, after scoring so many goals, they knew they had a superstar on their hands. So to honor his genius, they handed him the number 9 jersey. Since then, it has become his trademark jersey number across his spells at Inter, Barcelona, and Real Madrid, and was even nicknamed R9. But while in Madrid, something crazy happened that completely changed his story. You see, Ronaldo had been dealing with knee injuries in bad form, and with the striker already 30 years old, his coach lost faith in him. He called him fat and was eager to criticize him in front of the press. This pissed Ronaldo off, and when the first opportunity came, he ditched Madrid for Milan. With the fans excited about his arrival, everyone expected him to wear the number 9 jersey. He was R9 after all, except there was one tiny problem. Milan's legendary striker, Filippo Inzaghi, was wearing the number 9 jersey, and taking it off him would be disrespectful. So to respect the club legend, Ronaldo chose the number 99 jersey. Which kind of makes sense, considering Ronaldo was 2 times the striker he was. Now, paying tribute to a legend is cool and all, but for Mario Balotelli, he found a sneaky way to wear the number 9 jersey.
Well, what's he doing with that there? What? He can't even get his bib on there, Ray. I think I'm going to change his name to Mario Bibatelli. What is he doing? He can't get his bib on.
Mario Balotelli has had arguably the craziest career of any footballer. He was abandoned as a child, but still made it into professional football. He was the world's best youngster in 2010, but still found a way to set his own house on fire. His life on and off the pitch has been full of ups and downs, but perhaps the only thing that has remained consistent is his number 45 jersey. You see, no matter the club he went to, Mario Balotelli insisted on wearing the jersey number 45. This didn't make sense to anyone because for most strikers, the ideal number is 9. Yet, Balotelli chose to stick with his odd number for one sneaky reason. When he first broke into Inter Milan's first team, the club policy required young players to choose numbers between 36 and 50. So when he chose to wear 45, everyone thought it was random, but in fact, it was a carefully calculated decision. Balotelli jokingly told his teammates that 4 plus 5 makes 9, and since he was a striker too young to wear the number 9 jersey, this was his best way to ensure he had the number 9 on his back. After picking the number, he scored in his first 4 games, and since then, he knew that number was his good luck charm. Which reminds me of the time a taxi number changed Bruno Guimaraes' life. Bruno Guimaraes is one of the best midfielders in the Premier League right now. He plays a key role for Newcastle, with his defense-splitting passes, silky technical ability, and hard tackling. But while most midfielders wear numbers like 4, 8, or 6, Bruno's jersey number is a weird 39. The midfielder is so attached to the number that he has worn it for every club he's played for since his senior debut. Before your imagination runs wild, there's a story behind his actions. Like most Brazilian footballers, Guimaraes wasn't born with a silver spoon. His mother worked in a motorcycle shop while his dad was a taxi driver. Being a taxi driver in the streets of Rio, Bruno's father wasn't always home. He mostly saw his father on Saturdays when he would come watch him play football. Seeing his father work so hard, he knew he couldn't afford to fail. The same taxi that fed him, clothed him, bought boots for him, and paid his fares to ensure he pursued his dreams. So when he signed his first professional contract, he was asked to choose a jersey number. He replied 39, the dispatch number of his father's taxi.
Eu sempre te falei, Bruno, que o número 39 ia trazer muita sorte para a família.
Mas é o número que realmente marcou nossa vida, né? Se eu fico orgulhoso, imagino você.
Revealed in an interview, Bruno said, "I know people think it's a weird number for a footballer, but for me, 39 is special. No, it's more than that. It's magical. The number 39 gave me everything in life. It got me here to Newcastle." This tells you that numbers can change a person's life, just like it did for Vicente Lizarazu. Many consider Vicente Lizarazu as one of the best left backs of his generation, and for good reason. This man won the Bundesliga and Champions League with Bayern, and won the World Cup and Euros with the French national team. But perhaps what people remember him by most is that he wore the number 69. I know you're beginning to think of something crazy, but before your mind drifts completely away, there's a reason behind this weird number choice. Because of the wild things connected to the number 69, most footballers stay clear of it. It's even completely banned in the NBA because it's not family-friendly. However, Vicente chose it because of some weird coincidences throughout his life. He was born on December 9, 1969. At his peak, he weighed 69 kilos and grew to a height of 1.69 meters. With that in mind, he just had to accept his freaky nature. But for Gianluigi Buffon, his jersey number almost ruined his career. In the year 2000, Buffon was making waves as one of the best goalkeepers out of Italy. So when his club offered him a chance to change his jersey number, he didn't choose number 1, but chose a number that turned into a national controversy. You see, Buffon's choice of number 88 symbolized a very dark period in history. So when he stepped out onto the pitch, it reopened fresh wounds from the past. He was heavily criticized for his choice, but in reality, he didn't want to hurt anyone. His reason for choosing the number was actually hilarious. He said, "I have chosen 88 because it reminds me of 4 balls. And in Italy, we all know what it means to have balls, strength, and determination." Although his choice was supposed to show his mentality, he was being accused of supporting the Holocaust. So out of respect, he said, "I am ready to change numbers if that will help." He explained, "I didn't know the hidden meaning of 88. But after surviving a controversy like that, all he could do was offer a prayer of thanksgiving. Which is what Lukaku needed when he inherited a cursed jersey. Throughout football history, the number 9 jersey has been worn by some of the greatest strikers ever to play the game. From Alan Shearer to R9, Gabriel Batistuta to Luis Suarez, I could go on and on. But at Chelsea, the number 9 seems to carry a curse. Any striker who puts on the jersey couldn't score goals. It started with Griezmann in 2004, who despite scoring goals for fun at PSV, flopped badly and was sold. When he left, Hernan Crespo took the vacant jersey number 9, but despite having insane talent, he flopped too. The next striker to wear it was Franco Di Santo, who was one of the best young strikers in the world.
Di Santo, what can he do? Oh, that's lovely!
But he too couldn't shake off the curse and ended up being shipped out to Wigan. Chelsea then broke the bank to sign established scoring machine Fernando Torres from Liverpool. He also took on the cursed number, but famously underperformed too. After he left, strikers like Falcao, Morata, Higuain, and Tammy Abraham all wore the number 9, but it seemed the curse needed a world-class striker to take it on. That answer finally came when Chelsea re-signed Lukaku from Inter for £97 million. The Belgian striker had just completed a world-class season with Inter, And it seemed the end to Chelsea's striker curse was near. To show his faith in his new striker, Chelsea coach Thomas Tuchel said Lukaku is one of the guys like Haaland at Dortmund, Lewandowski at Bayern Munich, Harry Kane at Tottenham, who is a real number 9, who loves to score and who has a presence in the box. But these words came back to haunt him. Lukaku went on to score only 8 goals in 26 appearances. He suffered injuries, bad form, and a lack of interest on the team. When he was dropped to the bench, he responded by granting bad interviews.
Non sono contento con la mister ha fatto una scelta di giocare tutta questa situazione, però sono un lavoratore, non do veramente dal fondo del mio cuore di tornare all'Inter. Tornerò a giocare di là. Lo spero veramente.
So when the club got tired, they sent him back to Inter.
Questions that Chelsea fans want to know. Has he apologised? And also, is there a way back for him here at Chelsea?
This is our players. There's always a way back. This is not to be discussed now.
Traumatized by the number 9, he opted for number 90, which wasn't the case for Vinicius Jr., because his jersey number completely transformed his career. When Vinicius Jr. made his professional debut in Brazil, he didn't know what to expect. As a young kid trying to make a name for himself, he was down with wearing any jersey number. But his club, Flamengo, offered him the number 20 jersey. So after breaking ankles, embarrassing opponents, and scoring goals, he eventually caught the attention of Real Madrid. He started his Real Madrid career in the B team, but after a few games, he was promoted to the senior squad. At the time, Madrid had superstars like Ronaldo, Bale, and Benzema, so he was very low in the pecking order. However, he had one dream: to become like his idol, Cristiano Ronaldo. At first, the club gave him the number 28 jersey, but his new jersey coincided with him performing badly. It got so bad, they even considered getting rid of him. With his career on the line, Vinny knew something needed to change. So at the beginning of the 2021 season, he requested to change his jersey number. He said, "Number 20 has brought me luck. In Flamengo, I was very happy, and I made my debut wearing number 20. My first games in professional football were with this number, and this season I had the opportunity to change, and I feel more comfortable." This decision proved to be a masterstroke, as the team's biggest stars all left the club. He started getting more playing time, and his form drastically improved. With Benzema now the main man, Vinny Jr. was his assistant-in-chief. The two formed a deadly partnership and terrorized defenders. But despite all the success his number 20 jersey brought him, he still needed to fulfill one last thing: inherit Cristiano Ronaldo. So at the beginning of the 23-24 season, he took over Ronaldo's iconic number 7, becoming Real Madrid's star player and fulfilling his lifelong dream, which would have been complete had he won the Ballon d'Or. Speaking of his idol Ronaldo, his iconic jersey number scared him at the beginning of his career. After signing for Manchester United from Sporting in 2003, Ronaldo came to the club with a lot of expectations on his shoulders. After all, he was the flying Portuguese teenager who was destroying opponents. Because he wore the number 28 jersey at Sporting, he expected to continue wearing the same number at his new club. But as soon as he stepped into his manager's office, Sir Alex Ferguson dropped a bombshell. You see, he had just sold the club's star player, David Beckham, to Madrid. The fans weren't exactly pleased that the club sold a star for an unproven teenager. But Sir Alex, who knew Ronaldo's potential, offered him Beckham's jersey number. Ronaldo had second thoughts about accepting the number.
I remember when I left Lisbon to England, Alex Ferguson said to me, "Listen, now I want that to take the number 7. And I was surprised because I knew the guys who had that shirt.
That jersey had been worn by legends throughout the club's history, and he was just a shy kid with bad teeth. With a bit of persuasion, he accepted his coach's decision, and fast forward to today, that decision has been a masterstroke. Not only did he become a legend of the game, but the number 7 has been a part of his brand. His initials, CR7, have made him the most famous player in history. But despite all his achievements, Zlatan Ibrahimovic chose a jersey number to show he is 3 times better.
I'm not joking.
Ever since Zlatan started playing football, or football started playing Zlatan, he hasn't had a preferred number. He's worn numbers 27, 16, 9, 8, 10, 11, and 18. Towards the end of his career, he signed for AC Milan, and the club creatively unveiled his jersey number, 21. This was cool because the number 21 looked exactly like his initials, ZI, but that was just one of the reasons he chose that number. Zlatan has repeatedly claimed that he is the god of football, and since Ronaldo wears number 7 and claims to be the GOAT, he had to put him in his place. So when a reporter asked him why he chose the number 21, he said, "Because I'm 3 times better than Ronaldo." Ronaldo's number, 7 times 3, gives you 21. Now it all makes sense. But for Lionel Messi, his favorite jersey number isn't even his. After dominating the world in 2005 and 2006, Ronaldinho's form and importance at Barcelona began to fade. But as his influence dropped, a young Lionel Messi emerged as the team's new star. Seeing the kid's potential, Ronaldinho took him under his wing. He wanted to turn Messi into the best player in the world. But the closeness between the players wasn't liked by everyone. Barca's new coach, Pep Guardiola, felt Ronaldinho was a bad influence on Messi. He didn't want the Brazilian to teach his young star how to party and chase after girls. So the club asked Ronaldinho to leave. Although he didn't want to, he felt the disrespect was enough. So he signed for AC Milan to end his successful spell at Barcelona. But to leave on a good note, he wanted to hand Messi the keys to his throne. And what better way to do that than to give him his iconic number 10 jersey? Since putting on the number 10 shirt, Messi's game went to a whole new level. He went on to set records that might never be broken. But for Frenkie de Jong, his reason for choosing a number will leave your heart broken. Born on 12 May 1997, Frenkie de Jong grew up in a modest family of football fanatics. His mother worked in home care, while his father was a community service worker. Since he could walk, his father started training him to play football. But because of the hectic nature of work, Frenkie's grandpa eventually took over training him. At just 6 years old, he was scouted and signed by Willem II before progressing through the ranks. But despite achieving success with Willem II's senior team and Ajax, he had a lifelong dream he wanted to achieve. You see, Frenkie was a huge Barcelona fan, and his biggest dream was to play for the club one day. He was playing well at Ajax, and his dream seemed to be on track. But as he prepared for his 21st birthday, he received the worst news of his life. His grandpa had passed away. Devastated, Frenkie didn't know what to do. But then he remembered that his grandpa wouldn't want him to be sad. Rather, he would want him to work harder to achieve the dream they had been talking about all his life. So, to immortalize his grandpa, he requested to change his jersey number to 21, signifying April 21st, the day his grandpa was born. After his grandpa was laid to rest, Frenkie made it his life's mission to make it to Barcelona. He trained harder and played better until a year later, Barcelona offered him a 5-year contract. He finally did it. His whole family came out to celebrate. The only person missing was his grandpa. So he ensured that his jersey at Barcelona was number 21 so they could be together whenever he played. Damn, losing a loved one is terrible. But when I found out Phil Foden suffered the same thing, I knew I had to tell his story too. Phil Foden became a Man City fan because of his grandpa Ronnie. As a season ticket holder, Ronnie never missed any Manchester City games. As a reward for his commitment, he began getting privileges at the club. Using his influence, he made Phil become a player escort, where you get to walk out to the field with pro footballers. Soon enough, he was promoted to the position of a ball boy and eventually got a spot in their academy. While at the academy, The Manchester City coaches couldn't believe how talented he was. But Phil's only dream was for his grandpa to watch him play a professional game for Man City. But just before he could achieve his dream, his grandpa sadly passed away. This was a challenging period for Phil, considering Ronnie died at just 47 years old. So when he finally made it to Man City's first team, he chose the number 47 as a tribute to him. But having the number on his jersey wasn't enough. He wanted to honor Ronnie permanently. So he got a tattoo of the number 47 and named his first son after him. I can't lie, going through the last two stories was difficult. But for Antoine Griezmann, his jersey number literally changed his life. As a child, Antoine Griezmann was one of the smallest players in his local academy. So whenever scouts came around, he was always written off even before he kicked the ball. But this didn't bother him because he knew how talented he was. All he needed was an opportunity to showcase his skills. While on trial with the Montpellier youth team, that chance finally came in a friendly against the PSG youth side. Griezmann knew this was his chance to show the world what he was made of, so he put on his long-sleeve shirt with number 7 on the back and left everything on the pitch. He easily skipped past players, scored goals, and provided assists, leading his team to a dominant victory. His performance was so good that some Spanish scouts wondered who was that kid wearing the number 7 jersey. So they invited him to a trial at Real Sociedad, and after just 1 week, they offered him a contract that changed his life forever. Since then, Griezmann has made it a tradition to always wear a long-sleeved number 7 jersey. When asked why, he said, "I liked David Beckham a lot. He was my idol. That's why I wear a long-sleeved jersey and wear the number 7. Speaking of David Beckham, when I read the story of how he chose his jersey number, there was no way this video ends without showing it to you. Towards the end of his time at Manchester United, David Beckham became the type of footballer no one had ever seen. His famous haircut and good looks made him more popular as a model than as a footballer. His coach, Sir Alex, who was old school, didn't like this at all. The constant attention from paparazzi was getting to Beckham's head. It looked like he was more concerned about his celebrity status than about playing football. It got so bad that in one match, Beckham wanted to show off his new haircut to the fans rather than trying to win the game. This attitude caused a rift between him and Sir Alex, and the manager just couldn't deal with his antics anymore. So after a 2-0 loss to Arsenal, the manager confronted him about his Playboy antics, which ended with Beckham getting a boot in the face. This incident became the final straw, and the pair's relationship was completely broken.
Sir Alex Ferguson didn't try to deny it. He did kick a football boot that hit David Beckham in the head.
What would have happened if the boot had been on the other foot?
David Beckham would have aimed it squarely at Sir Alex Ferguson.
It was time to finally sell Beckham, and the only club that could put up with his antics was Real Madrid. With his commitment to football being questioned, Beckham wanted to show the world that he still had it in him. He wanted to show that he was more than just good looks and fancy hair. With that in mind, he considered the one jersey number that would show his mentality. And it was worn by the legend himself, Michael Jordan. So in his first season at Madrid, he was instrumental in the club winning the La Liga and Spanish Super Cup, which is not bad for a player with fancy hair and good looks. But you see, some players aren't only known for their good looks. They own some of the most expensive items in the world. I'm talking $50 million yachts and iced-out football boots. Click on the next video to see the insanely expensive things Cristiano Ronaldo owns.